callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors. Welcome to the Ask the Experts Show with local experts in the fields of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. Enjoy being educated in such topics as personal injury law, community association law, family law, bankruptcy law, along with health show topics like pain management, men's health, and dental implants. Now, sit back and enjoy today's Ask the Experts with host Steve-O.
Hey, thanks for joining us on this rainy day. I guess I'm in Tamarack right now, and I don't know what the weather's like over there at the station in Boca, but it is bad here. Hey, listen, I'm so glad you tuned in today. This is a live show. A lot of people aren't doing live shows anymore. This is a live show, and this is the first Monday of the month. That means it's our wealth management show. And we have one of the top wealth management companies, and we do our show a little bit different than everybody else does. I promise you there will be nothing boring about today's show. We have the Simon Group USA, Phyllis Simon, and if I've heard things right, she might even have her son with her, who's her partner, Daniel. Let's see. Hi, Phyllis.
Hi, Steve. How are you doing?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. Can you hear me?
I hear you fine. Somebody said Daniel's with you.
That is
Dan's on the
correct.
phone,
Good
too.
afternoon. How are you?
Ah, there he is. Hi, Daniel. This is Phyllis's son. They're partners, and we're blessed today to have Daniel with us.
I appreciate that, Steve. Thank you very much for having us on
Okay,
the show today.
stop buttering me up. Before we get, someone just texted me, and I know you've got some relatives in Las Vegas. They're shutting Las Vegas down again. Did you hear that?
I'm sorry,
Actually,
what
they
did you
are back and forth. Some places are open, some places are closed. But yes, the numbers keep on spiking up, and they just want to make sure everybody's safe. So most of the casinos and most of the restaurants are still shut down, and they're trying to open up slowly, but things keep on happening.
Well, I just heard that they're not, I mean, it's since the numbers are going up there, that they're not opening anything up. That's going to kill the economy in Vegas.
Yeah, it was. It actually had a run. A few years back, it was pretty much 2008, and then you turn around from there. We're going 12 years afterwards. It started to boom again, and then all of a sudden, one more wave. It's entertainment. It's the entertainment industry, and when you deal with entertainment, and I feel horrible for all the bars and restaurants and nightclubs,
Right.
and that is something that most of them are shut down. I mean, it's how do you make a living? Service industry. Remember, we don't manufacture anything anymore, and we're trying to bring that back. So everybody in this country is pretty much basically in some kind of hospitality industry, the majority of them. So what happens now?
Well, listen. I want to get into you telling everybody about the Simon Group, but before we do that, um, like Microsoft might be buying some of TikTok.
That was
That's what I
actually
heard.
back and forth, and there's so many different things that you're hearing about that. The whole thing with Microsoft and the government trying to stop the sale and what's actually happening. And, it's kind of funny. I had this conversation with my child last night during dinner, and he's telling me that the reason why they want to shut it down is one thing. And I said, well, that's, publicity, and that's what people are saying because of, the elections and everything else. And I said, time out. I said, here's what the major problem is. Major problem is when it comes to Chinese goods and you're downloading a free app, they're worried about the security and the spying of the information they could take from your phone. And we all know, and everybody that doesn't know, when you have a smartphone like Alexa and everything else you have in your house, it's constantly listening to you. And we all
Right.
know that people can turn your phone on and look through your camera, and they can do all that stuff. So this is one of the platforms they were using, supposedly, so I say supposedly, to actually turn around and gather information from your phones by downloading that app. And what do you get off your phone? Well, when you're a 13-year-old kid, I mean, you're not going to get much, right? But you're linked to your parents' accounts, you're linked to things out there, it happens. I mean, there's an incident that I just heard about today with Microsoft, right? With this kids are playing Fortnite, and they're linked to Microsoft, their credit cards, and they run up a $5,000-$6,000 bill because parents aren't paying attention to what the kids are buying, while they're staying home during the COVID, and they're playing these games, and they have to buy credits, they have to buy this, and they buy that, and no one's monitoring what's happening, on this, and that comes down to a financial risk, right? And that's what we're here for, is wealth management, and we come down to these things where the financial risks happen, and the safety of what you have and the security software you have on your phones and your computers is a very big topic right now.
A lot of the tech people knew you were coming on today. Phyllis, why is the stock market doing so well?
Well, you can ask Dan the same thing. I don't have a crystal ball.
But I mean, we hear all this.
My mom's over there, rolled around the house somewhere. I think I fell down the stairs when I was a little kid. The market's doing
No,
well.
but you hear all this negative news.
Our numbers that are coming out that are on the streets, you look at, okay, what's doing well out there? Obviously, we know technology is doing well because everybody's home and they're using it. Amazon, forget about it. Apple, they did their whole entire thing with the chips and everything else that they actually knocked away Intel and they started producing their own microchips inside their phones. A lot of things are happening. The technology sector is moving very, very fast, very rapidly. But everybody's saying, are we at the top of the market right now? Are we at a top? What's going to happen? And, we don't talk political, Steve, me and you. It comes down to being
right
towards this election, and I hate to say this because this is what the rumors are. Rumors are towards the election, if it goes to the other direction than where it is now, this market's going to take a 50% turnaround. That's what everybody's talking about. Those are rumors on the street.
Yes.
Now,
I've heard that.
Do you go precaution and say, do you pull out of the markets before the election? Well, you got to talk to your financial advisor, and you need to have a review. And a lot of people got nervous on the downturn, what just happened a couple months ago, they got out of the market. Well, guess what? The market rebounded so quickly that they lost all the gains that they would have lost. They would have been up for the year. Pretty much in most of these portfolios because they all rebounded back so quickly. So is the economy doing well? The markets are doing well. Is the economy doing well? No. Everybody's still waiting for secondary checks, right? Companies took the PPP money. They had 8 weeks with that. They go to open their business again. They get shut back down. What's going to happen to these companies? What I look at is sometimes I go on Craigslist and I look at, what's for sale in the restaurant industry and what's the sale with companies out there because they're selling their equipment, right? A lot more equipment. And if you go on cars, people are selling their second cars and their exotic cars, and everybody's trying to get rid of their jewelry. That means we're in a problem. We're having a problem right now.
So how should people who are looking at the stock market now, should they look at it any different? Should they stay away from it?
Well, I'll tell you something, which is our topic today. It's basically the wealth assault on boomers, right? And what I mean by boomers is baby boomers. And there are currently 42 million baby boomers in the United States. And out of that, 35% of the U.S. population, 18% of the millionaires in the U.S. are over the age of 65. And the 38% of the baby boomers have household incomes over $75,000 annually. And you got to realize something, what's happening. They've changed a couple of laws this year on RMDs, right? And that's going to be the big topic of today, of your RMD.
Tell everybody what RMD is.
An RMD is it's a minimum distribution. It's a required minimum distribution, and you have to take it for tax purposes, okay? The government wants their money, so they make you take out a calculation. Now, this is very important for anybody who's listening that was born between ages of 1946 and 1964, okay? Very important. This year, they let you pass the RMDs on to next year, so if you don't need the money, you don't have to take it. Okay, and you have to talk to your financial advisor or your CPA to figure out exactly what the laws are, because there's a lot of people, they say, well, I heard. don't take it from me unless you're one of my clients and we sit down and actually go over everything with you. You really need to go make sure you know the law and what's happening to make sure you're taking out the proper amount. And a lot of the companies out there, you got to make sure that you get a proper amount from your advisor so you know how much you're supposed to be taking.
Wow. Hey, we're going to go to break. This first quarter of our show is up. Give everybody your phone number and your website address.
Yes, if you need to schedule a review of your RMDs, please give a call at 954-599-1950, or you can go to thesimonGroupUSA.com.
We're going to go to break. When we come back, we're going to hear who the Simon Group is. We'll be right back with Phyllis and Daniel Simon of the Simon Group.
Hi, this is Steve O with the Ask the Experts radio show. At the Simon Group, their goal is to actively help families, individuals, and business owners build their financial freedom. They have the skills, knowledge, and experience required to help meet the client's established goals. They understand their clients want a comfortable retirement, but that means different things to different people. And there are other goals that they can emerge along the way, from planning for a child's education to planning for a managing income in retirement. That's why the Simon Group offers a range of financial strategies and solutions to help in every step of the way. They work with you to gain confidence and stay flexible and prepared for your financial future. The Simon Group serves their clients in estate and investment solutions, insurance protection, income, stocks and bonds, retirement investments, and insurance. Contact the Simon Group for a free financial planning appointment today at 954-599-1950. That's 954-599-1950.
And we are back. This is the Ask the Expert show. We're on every Monday and Thursday from 6 to 7 p.m. drive time. And we just do things a little bit different on Ask the Experts. It's not your old boring show. And we have two of the greatest people. I'm telling you, it's, the trust factor is so important. And also, how long have the people been in business for? And I'm going to let Phyllis Simon tell us about the Simon Group, who you are.
Well, we are wealth management people. We help people with their insurances and their investments. We help protect their assets. And we try to help you prevent from going broke. We help you build a legacy for your family. And that's basically what we do. And we just tell you right on that exactly what you need to have and what you should be doing. And if you're not doing it, then you're not going to achieve the financial freedom that you want to have for the future.
Phyllis, how is your business changed with the virus?
Hear you guys. I'm going to have to call on another line. I cannot hear
Yeah,
you.
there's bad feedback on her line, Steve, and as you know, it's echoing, and I don't know if you hear that on your end.
No,
I'd back on the other line.
Have her call back.
Okay. Well, I'll explain to you, Steve, the Simon Group in a nutshell. What we do. From wealth management to risk management, from everything from soup to nuts. And what I mean by that is if it's coming down to your long-term care, disability, life insurance, your estate planning, if it comes to your 401ks, your IRAs, to your brokerage accounts, to bonds, to CDs, we do it all. This is how we came together on the wealth side, meaning the managed money side and the stock market side and the insurance side. So this way you have a group of our experts sitting down with you instead of getting pulled from your CPA, your accountant, your insurance guy, your broker guy, your advisor guy. I mean, everybody pulls everybody in different directions. We make sure you have a proper roadmap for your financial future. That's first and foremost. We make sure we take your goals and what your dreams are. And, I say dreams. My mom always says, people make plans and God laughs. Well, the bottom line is when it comes to your financial future, the goal here is not to outlive your money and to protect your assets and to protect your family along the way. That's the key.
Well said.
Daniel, Is it harder now to do this with the virus and the economy than it has been in the past?
Well, that is a good question. Is it harder now? People are living their
Is
lives. This is the hard part comes. Everything became virtual ever since the internet came around, right? But it came more virtual over the last 5 years, and now companies are more getting onto the internet and more of the emailing and more of the phone calls instead of the face-to-face and everything else. It's not real hard to sit down with someone and have a phone call with them. People do business over the phone all the time, and if someone tells you they don't do business over the phone, they're a liar, because if you ever bought a pizza, you did business over the phone, right?
That's right.
That's first and foremost. So what ends up happening is, the key is, I had a long conversation the other day with somebody about what happens to the baby boomers. And technology is a really big fear with baby boomers, because we had a conversation, me and a couple of my buddies, and like, did you ever have typing class in high school? And I said, typing class? I said, I had computer class where it was like, where's Carmen Diego? And it was like one of these old-time, green screens, and this one little video game was a bunch of dots, and, So my generation, where I'm at, and compared to everybody north of where I'm at, there really aren't tech-savvy, computer-savvy, the majority of the people. So it's very hard for them to get their online statements and to start looking at the computer for their stuff. They're more like, I want it in the mail, I want a statement in my hand, I want to look at my numbers. They want to grab their pencil and they want to start circling things, right? Younger generations, they want everything online, they want it on their phone, they want it on their fingertips. Immediate, instant gratification, because that's the way they're used to doing things. So what COVID is doing is pushing people more to go to the internet, more to going online, to getting everything they need, even to ordering groceries. Everything is happening online. Don't think Amazon doesn't want you to keep on staying at home, right? Because
Yeah, really.
with everybody ordering everything online,
Really?
So it comes down to big of a lot of my clients that call in. They're like, Dan, we're like, you can go online and look at your account, but they also want to go over the account, talk it over. They want to know where their numbers are, and that's one thing is customer service. That's the key thing. Any advisor you have should give you the customer service to sit down with you and go over your accounts so you understand it. And I'm talking about from head to toe. When I mean how the markets are doing, what's happening out there, come up with a game plan if anything changed in your life. A lot of people don't realize this. They go 2 or 3 months without an income. They got to pull money from somewhere. And where do you pull your money from? Now you have to deal with taxes if you're pulling out of real estate, or are you pulling it out of the markets? Are you pulling it out of savings? Where are you pulling your money from? To get by. You think the $1,200 the government gave is going to last very long?
Now they're talking about that might only be 1,000 now.
Well, they're also, the other gentleman, Steve Mnuchin, saying we're stopping people from going back to work. And I'm saying to myself, I'm scratching my head. And Steve, you know me. I'm an independent, but I'm also a capitalist, and I'm also
right.
non-biased. I see both sides, and I look at, okay, you're afraid they're not going to go back to work. Where are they going back to work to? Right? People aren't working.
Well, hopefully their old jobs.
It's because their business is shut down. Their job is shut down. So what are you supposed to do? You need to survive. They passed the eviction laws. They start passing all these things so people don't get thrown out. They can't hit their mortgage or their rent or whatever the case may be. People are suffering right now.
Oh,
I
know.
don't know if you've been out there. And you start looking around to see what's going on, but businesses aren't booming the way they used to be.
Do you see them coming back at all?
I do, but I see corporate America because this is what's very catchy, and people have to pay attention to this. Corporate, what I call Class A office space, right? If you're used to your employees working out of home, okay, why are you spending that much money for that office building? It'd be cheaper
right.
Bottom line to keep everybody home if you can run your business from your house. Here's the problem. Kids don't go back to school. They go to online school. Now you have the parent home working with the children running around, which are going to be in school also. And we all know what happens when children are home on the computers and parents are trying to work. You're not going to get a lot of work done. So it's vice versa. Some cases are good and some cases are bad, right? If you think about it that way, I mean, how much production does someone do when they're sitting at home? What do they save? An hour drive time each way to work. That's 2 hours more production for them if they give themselves a schedule. So someone has to stick to a structured schedule at home to work from home. And that's the key of like how businesses will be productive from there. I mean, a lot of people were furloughed. Are they coming back? A lot of companies aren't bringing people back.
That's true.
I mean, so realistically, what can you do? What business will succeed in this type of environment? Obviously, food, medication, right? Everybody needs food and medication. Now, do people need to go out and have entertainment? Yes, to blow off steam. More people are it seems like people are getting more agitated and crazy staying at home, and so when they end up getting to the supermarket, people need to be patient also. Take a deep breath. Everybody's going through this, right? They're not the only one going through some trouble and turmoilation in their life right now, so everybody needs to take a deep breath. I'm a firm believer that, we should be straightening out over here the next couple of months.
Is Phyllis back on? Phyllis, are you back on?
What did he say? I can't hear him.
Phyllis, are you back on?
Yes.
Oh, good. You know what's so sad is restaurants like Sweet Tomato out of business. The Metro Diner out of business.
Well,
yeah, a lot of them are going out of business. Look at Brooks Brothers went out of business.
To eat.
But I mean, they're closing up all their restaurants. I mean, they could have taken a loan, couldn't they? But they didn't. They just closed the restaurants up.
You're closing down a buffet, Steve. I mean, think about it. Sneeze guards. I mean, people touching other people's foods. People are going to freak out. One of my favorite places in the world in Vegas is, they have, Caesars open up their new buffet. And let me tell you something. All the buffets shut down. They all shut down because
you're
they can't
kidding.
Be touching the food. That's the bottom
No more
line.
buffet?
I mean, yeah, buffets are all shut down.
Wow. That blows me away. But how about Metro Diner? They had 5 locations here. They're not a buffet. They shut them all down.
Because people, for takeout only, everything's takeout. Drive-thrus and takeout. I'll tell you one place that's not shutting down is Chick-fil-A. That line's around the corner every single day. I mean, that place, because I'm going to tell you something. They probably have one of the best customer services, and whoever is training their staff in that corporation, I want to give them kudos. And I'm not a real big Chick-fil-A type of guy, but the customer service is so good in that place. They do everything to the T. And I think that if you run your corporation like the way that Chick-fil-A drive-thru runs, guess what? You'll be a multi-billion-dollar corporation in no time. I'm telling you. Their customer service is second to none. But all these companies are closing down. Pier 1's out. Brooks Brothers out. All these things are going out. Left and right, besides restaurants.
Pier 1?
Pier 1, gone. Brooks Brothers, gone.
Wow.
But everybody's trying to buy them now. Like they're trying to buy up their inventory. They're trying to buy certain things out there. What do you think is going to happen to the mall? We just saw JCPenney go out. We saw Sears go out. These are the anchor stores of these malls.
Yeah, I heard that they might.
They'd rather buy it online.
They might Simon might close down Coral Springs.
Yes.
The mall there.
Yeah, they're all looking at it, and look at all that property sitting there. Do you think there's going to be more retail to go in there? Who's going to buy that? What they're going to end up probably doing, the property like that size of the mall, that lot, well, they'll knock it all down, and some investor will come in and build some kind of real estate project there, some more condos or whatever the case may be. That's what's happening.
Wow. Can we just, for a few...
have to open up their back doors. Our customers come in directly from the outside to their store instead of walking through a mall. And that's the only thing that might save them. It's an idea like in the old days where people walk down the street and went from store to store to store instead of walking down a mall. And being more like a small town when you're going into the main street and you're going from store to store. Because there's less chance of you having more people around you catching a germ that you can't see and that you're petrified to catch because you don't know if you're going to survive it.
Steve, here's an interesting fact. I want you to look this up.
Mental attitude
about
that scares people.
The
That's
interesting
scary.
fact, Steve, I was about to tell you, is about door handles. Why do you have a brass door handle than regular? You got to look this up. The brass door handle carries less germs than any other kind of door handle you have. That's
Why is
they use
that?
brass door handles. And I was reading this, and I said to myself, wow, you don't think about it. Anytime you open a door, everybody's touching that door handle, right? Who's cleaning the door handles when you open the mall door or when you open up the gas station door or whatever else, or the gas pump? You know, who's been touching this before you?
You know, Phyllis, I know health insurance is very important to you. And, you know, you told me on one of the shows that it's so important if you have to buy one type of insurance, I mean, besides your health insurance, is the insurance if you get laid up. Is that true? That's the most important insurance.
That would be disability or long-term care, but right now, during this pandemic we're having, your most important insurance would be your, first of all, your health insurance, and then second, if you hate to say this, it would be guaranteed issue life insurance. God forbid something happens to you, to make sure your family has something and you have burial expense.
So long-term care is as important?
Yeah. What was that?
Long-term care is not that important anymore?
It's still important, but I'm saying for today's day and age, for what's happening right now and where the state that we are in, long-term care is very important. But what ends up happening is people are not looking at, you know, they're going to grow old and they're going to need long-term care. What they're looking at now is, how am I going to get through this? God forbid I get sick, and if I die, what's going to happen to the stuff I have, and who's going to bury me, right? And that's what we've been hearing a lot of. And because people are starting to panic, and there's no need to panic, because I'm going to give you a little statistic here. 10 years ago, we had H1N1. 60 million people got that in this country. We only have 4.9 million people got COVID right now. And H1N1, a lot of people died from that, and we didn't shut down the country. No one said a word. Okay? We hardly even knew we had it going through our system. That's 20% of America caught that. Okay? So really look at what's happening between these two different pandemics and how, between the media, between society, how we're handling this one a little bit different. And Steve, I know you're a big fan, you know, of politics. I know you are. But you know something? I was reading an interesting article, and which brings it up of who creates the hysteria, right? So back in January, when they were talking about this coming out, okay, and you started to see when the government started talking about it, every single person, all your favorite people, Nancy Pelosi and Kamala Harris, all your favorites, right? They all, and I know I'm going to tick you off right now. They all came out and they said Bernie Sanders, Biden, every single one. When Trump said shut down China, he's a xenophobe. Bernie Sanders, like he's out of his mind. Now Kamala Harris, Pelosi saying he's trying to.
Biden did too.
Remember, they were impeaching him. They were impeaching him when the pandemic was going on, right? And up until the end of January, if you look at everybody's statements, they can look it up, Google it, whatever you want to do. They all said that this guy was out of his mind, and then they said he didn't do anything soon enough. Well, here's the political game of all this. We have an issue. We got to clear it up regardless. Doesn't matter what medication. Now, you want the truth about medication? Here comes a money sum game, right? Here's the money game, Steve. If you take the drug that they keep on talking about, the hydrochloroquine or whatever this case may be, the generic drug is $20 for the bottle. There's no money in it. No one's making money. But the pharmaceutical lobbyists turn around and say, we need to come up with a drug, a patent. Hundreds of millions of dollars in the patent, billions of dollars to be made. Guess what? What do you think they're going to hold off for? It's a money game, and I hate to say that. It always has been a money game. And you know what? All these people come out and say, it's this, that, the other. here's the cure, what everybody's been talking about. The cure is erythromycin, hydrochloroquine, and zinc, right? All the studies
Right.
are showing this, and I said to myself, all right, well, God forbid I ever got it. Try something like that. You'll try anything at that point, right? You'll try anything you can to save your life. Listen, I'll try anything I can to save my life. God forbid I got this. But you know what it is? They're saying it doesn't work. Well, if someone survived off of it and they used that, right, then obviously it worked, correct?
You're totally correct, which is really strange because doctors who are prescribing it are saying how great it works. And you know what? You cannot get a prescription for it here in Florida. You have to get it out of state.
Of course, because it's flying off the shelf because people are using it. Here's another crazy thing out there that, you know, if you look at who, you know, has their name on patents and who's working on this, and every day some other company comes out that they're in the stage 3 now of coming up with a cure and everything else, and everybody's working round the clock to make a cure for this thing. And you know what? It's such a big pandemic. Once they have the cure for this and start distributing out the shots and everything else, this will be not as great as H1N1, right, on fatalities and for how many people catch it, because everybody's washing their hands now. Everybody's wearing masks. I mean, this is the first time that people actually wash their hands, right?
Yeah.
It's like one of those things
That's
that
for
for
sure.
years people don't wash their hands. You know, you look around, I go, did you wash your hands? Especially kids. Like, are you washing your hands? Are you, don't put your hands in your mouth? I mean, so we're more conscious now that we're not going to get that sick because we're more conscious of people around us. And if anybody's coughing, like think how many times that people came to your office that were sick during the day, right? They, oh, I only got a little, you know, sniffle. I'm going to go to the office. Now they stay home. Well, now you're going to save the whole office from getting sick, correct?
Right.
So maybe we're more conscious in the future of not to start spreading things around.
So we got the phone number for Simon Group USA. We're going to go to break.
It would be 954-599-1950. Once again, 954-599-1950. You can reach out to us on the internet at thesimongroupusa.com.
We're going to be right back. We're here with Phyllis and Daniel Simon of Simon Group USA. We'll be right back.
Hi, this is Steve O with the Ask the Experts radio show. At the Simon Group, their goal is to actively help families, individuals, and business owners build their financial freedom. They have the skills, knowledge, and experience required to help meet the client's established goals. They understand their clients want a comfortable retirement, but that means different things to different people. And there are other goals that they can emerge along the way, from planning for a child's education to planning for a managing income in retirement. That's why the Simon Group offers a range of financial strategies and solutions to help in every step of the way. They work with you to gain confidence and stay flexible and prepared for your financial future. The Simon Group serves their clients in estate and investment solutions, insurance protection, income, stocks and bonds, retirement investments, and insurance. Contact the Simon Group for a free financial planning appointment today at 954-599-1950. That's 954-599-1950.
You are listening to the Ask the Experts show with host Steve-O. We will be right back with more experts in the field of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. Join us every Thursday from 6 p.m. Now, get ready for more Ask the Experts.
And we are back. This is the Ask the Expert show. We've been running for nearly 5 years now on 1470 AM, but we're also on 96.9 FM, 103.9 FM, and 95.3 FM. 4 stations. If you have a business that you would like to come on as our expert, phone number here is 954-336-3767. The first Monday of the month is our wealth management show, and we are with the Simon Group USA. And Phyllis, can you hear me okay?
I hear you.
Phyllis, I am so scared of what's going on if the Democrats win the presidency and they pull off Medicare for all, it is going to be the biggest disaster because it already is right now. And not everybody has health care. It is insane what is going on out there. And if it comes down to everybody having Medicare, I guess if they're going, we're not going to have enough doctors. We're not going to have enough assistants out there. And it is actually like you hear the rumors about Canada, it is going to take forever to get surgery scheduled. Tell me this is not going to happen.
Well, first of all, Canada has a different system than we do, and they have a higher taxation than we do. And the American people don't like to pay taxes. That's
right.
Very
Also
common,
people in Canada.
It's common knowledge. The American people don't like to pay taxes. And countries that have uniform Medicare, as we can call it, have a very high tax base. So now, of course, there are some people that say, well, if we can get better health care, I don't mind paying more taxes. The problem is you don't get better health care because of the factors that there'll be too many people wanting health care with not enough physicians and doctors, physicians, nurses, anybody in the healthcare industry to be able to take care of the influx of the American people. Remember, how many people do we have in this country, really? We really don't know. We assume it's 300 million people. We assume.
That's right.
So we don't really know, but everybody wants some sort of health care. So the only way we could still keep a decent health care plan is if we still have private insurance, we still keep the seniors on Medicare with private insurance, helping them offset tremendous costs. And the people, we always had with those that couldn't afford health insurance, we always had state-mandated programs for affordable health care for them and their children. The problem is people don't like to pay for things. They want everything for nothing. And if you go to work,
that's true.
And if you have a job and your boss is willing to pay money for your health insurance, then you should get it through your boss. But these people
Hold
don't want to spend
on.
money.
I'm going to stop you right there. Because we all know in the last 20 years, corporations and businesses are getting rid of their benefits. We all know from pensions to benefits, they're all going bye-bye. We all seen it happen. There used to be lifers with companies that were there 30, 40 years. You retire, you get a gold watch. Well, guess what? People now work 5 to 7 years at a job, and then they jump. Okay?
And they leave.
The cost of the benefits are crushing the country because the health care bill that passed was a taxation on the companies and the businesses, which is crushing them. Instead of working with them, they try to crush them. So what's the benefit of an employer to give out benefits that has to pay, and if he doesn't pay, he owes the government money? Okay, so let's go back to what really happened. If they really wanted to make a proper system, you want free health care, Steve, join the Army. You'll have the VA for the rest of your life. That's number one. Number two, you're 65, you'll get free health care also. Here's what the problem is. You take a private sector and you put the Affordable Health Care Act in, then you turn around and pay insurance companies, the private sector, to offer insurance, and then you're paying for the insurance. But then people don't realize this. When they take the government assistance, when they file their taxes, they owe the money back to the government, and they don't get their money, right? So what happens in April every year? They file their taxes, right? Come June, July, they get their tax refund check, where now they got a few $1,000s in their pocket. What do? They go shopping. Stimulates the economy because they're getting money back. But last year, the year before, the last 5 years, people aren't getting their money back, because it goes right back to the government because they said, we gave you the money for the health care. So how do you fix the system? You want to fix the system? You do both. Check this.
But was it broken, Daniel?
Right now, Steve.
Was the system broke? Was the system broke, the healthcare system?
What happens is the lobbyists and the insurance companies were working with the government to put this plan together. All your major insurance companies jumped off the healthcare system. They all jumped off. United, Aetna, you name it. They decided not to offer individual coverage anymore. They don't even offer it on the exchange. Because what happens is they'll stick to their groups. And you'll think that they turn around, when you want group insurance, and they want $3,000 a month for a family of 4? Are you kidding me? You got to make $250,000 a year to have insurance for your family? I mean, come on. This is ridiculous already. So why don't we do a system like this? For the first $10,000, you're on the hook for yourself for, right? And after $10,000, meaning to scale, to insurance scale, meaning like you have insurance, so when you go to a hospital, a Band-Aid's not $800, right? So we'll keep the playing field level, right? They say during a hurricane, you cannot price gouge on a bottle of water. That dollar bottle can't be $10, right? So it's $1. Well, during your personal emergency, you go to emergency room, they price gouge. They price gouge you when you get in there. You get a bill for $49,000, and you're like, I just broke my arm. Really? But if I had insurance, it's only going to cost me $2,500. So figure this out. For the first $10,000, the private insurance companies will insure you. And if we sat there and said, you're 64 years old, your price of your insurance would be $64. If you're 50, it's $50 for the month. We're going to insure you up to the first $10,000, right? After $10,000, the government will pick it up. Think about how many problems in a hospital after $10,000 there are. What is that? Open heart surgery? Think about all the prices of the surgeries, right? Major medical. Let the government pick up major medical and all the small, minor stuff we can buy our own insurance for.
But who's got $10,000?
What are you talking about? You buy an insurance policy from United or Aetna or Humana, right? Because you're going to insure yourself. But the cost of the insurance, because they're only on the hook for $10,000, that means that your cost of your insurance should only be $50 or $60 a month. And you'll have full coverage health insurance. So
I knew a gentleman who
I laid out, and I figured out this plan because we're very big in health insurance. Of if you're going to stick something, remember, what is insurance? You're buying money. So what is an actuary? What's an insurance company? They're a bookmaker. They're a bookie. They're betting on your life and your health. So if you realize that all they're on the hook for on a lost bet is $10,000, how much do you think that costs you a month? 10% for say, let's say it's 10%, right? To buy $10,000 in coverage. That's $1,200 for the year, $100 a month. Can't be any more than that. Would you agree?
I agree.
So, I mean, this is a plan. They really wanted to do it. They spent so much money on the Affordable Health Care Act, and they paid the insurance companies on top of it. They had a website that was broken for 5 years. Still doesn't work right, okay, where 2 kids in the basement could have made a better website. Hate to tell you that. But the whole entire thing is it's where the money's going. Follow the money, follow the corruption, right? We go right back to the same crap again. It's follow the money. And here it is. If you want to straighten out health care, there's a way to do it. But here's the problem. Nobody in Washington cares because they're either all lawyers, they don't care about what's going on, it's all about passing laws. Send people to Washington, put people in political that haven't spent their whole entire life there. Take businessmen, take the baker, take the shoemaker, like it used to be, right, back in the day. Take the people that are actually, that understand things and bring them into, Washington. Instead of having these people doing the same old career routine, which they keep on doing, and we're getting sick of it already. 85% of this country is so sick of what's going on right now, it's going to be, I don't even know what's going to happen in November. It's getting crazy.
Tell me let's talk about this.
Everything will be fine. The American people are still going to do what they always do. They don't want to have to think, and they're going to vote for the same idiots that we have in there. And that's the problem. I don't need a career politician that's been there for 50 years. He's too old already, or she's too
first
old.
of all, they're not helping out what's going on right now.
They're not helping us. They're helping themselves.
Phyllis, no, of course they're helping themselves. But guess what? You watch the news and you see what's going on there. When are people going to say enough's enough already with this? All right? I'm watching the news every night, and they're rioting and they're doing this. But look who's rioting. Do you really see the people that are rioting? These are all kids that live in their parents' basement.
Yes.
I mean, I don't understand what's going on here. Why are these kids rioting like this?
Well, wait a
They're
minute,
trying to
What rioting? All I see are
these
peaceful demonstrations. What
That's not a
rioting
demonstration.
are
That's
you
not a
talking
peaceful
about?
demonstration when you're sitting there throwing Molotov cocktails, at police cars. That's not the way to do it. Why don't you take your tush, get to Washington, and sit down, and let's really figure this thing out. And I also blame, and I hate to say this, that people from the past presidencies need to sit there and come out and start talking to the American people and saying, enough's enough already. Let's figure this out. They got to stop it. Innocent people are getting hurt. I'm watching on Facebook these videos of old people getting punched in the face. Really? What did that person ever do to you?
Yeah.
Like, people just need to stop already. They really do need to stop, because I'm going to tell you something. It's only going to get worse. And guess what? I hate to tell you this, that people are going to get enough already, and they're not going to put up with this crap anymore. And it needs to stop. I don't know if you've been watching what's going on in Portland and all these other places. I'm like, seriously.
Seattle,
why are they letting this
Portland.
go on?
You know what? I think I'm in a dreamland. That these mayors and governors of these states and these cities try to tell us that this is peaceful. What is peaceful about it?
None of this is peaceful.
Well, we see it every night.
Protest. Put a march on Washington. Have a peaceful protest. Do it peacefully.
Listen,
Sit down.
I got to say this. I have to inject my 2 cents. First of all, most of these riots and these demonstrations that get out of hand are caused by outside sources that really hate this country. And they get the people riled up, and they get the people crazy, and that's what they do. It's all propaganda, and that's what they do. And it's a terrible thing. Listen, I grew up in the times when we had Kent, and we had all the different demonstrations with Vietnam, and our boys were in the Army, and nobody cared. They didn't care our boys were getting killed. They just wanted the war to end. They wanted it to stop. And the kids didn't want to go to war. But we have a war now that we can't see the enemy, and we got to be in this together like they were at World War II. That's why everybody talked about the generation that from World War II was so great, because everybody came together. It didn't matter what kind of religion, their race, anything. They came together to work together to beat the enemy.
I'm voting for you, Phyllis, for president.
And that's what the people have to do.
I know, right? And that's something,
it's all
Steve.
matter of finance, and it all has to do with money, because somebody's getting paid a lot of money to incite these riots, and it comes down
Mom,
to finance.
we know who's behind it, and that's, by the way, Steve, I'm getting her a new radio show besides yours called The Yelling Yenta. But besides that, we know that these are all paid actors. Listen, they're all paid actors that are setting out there. But there is a cause. There is a right cause. And let me tell you something. All lives matter. Everybody means something, regardless of creed, religion, race. It doesn't matter. Everybody's lives, we all have to live together. We all have to come together. South Florida is one of the biggest melting pots besides New York. South Florida, we're a melting pot down here. Love your neighbor. This is, and I hate to say this, it comes down to a time of look at your 10 commandments, start practicing that. Okay? If you don't believe anything else, don't stand idle while your neighbor bleeds. Start doing things that help each other out. We're all in a crisis right now. I hate to say lend a helping hand. You're not allowed to touch anybody or help them, you know what I mean, or get too close to them.
Yeah.
But we all have to have patience with each other, and we all have to give the nod and a smile and always be nice to each other. How's that? Let's try that for once, right? We can all agree to disagree, but the media and the news and everybody else is trying to divide us even more. And I hate to tell you this, as Americans and as people, we always stick together and come together. And that's what we need to do in this time right now, is we're all going to come together and stick together and work through this. That's the main thing.
You're so right about that. I watched, the funeral the other day, and Obama came up to do the eulogy. That was no eulogy.
That was a eulogy. That was a political speech. And you know something? That was horrible, because I actually watched it, and growing up,
I did too.
That gentleman right there And from his marches and everything he's done, you know what? I actually liked him a lot, and there's a lot of good things that came out from what he's done. But for them to get up there and start making this into something political, let the man be laid to rest properly.
He chose to divide us even more. He has not, I have never seen him come out and say about the riots going on, not that they would listen to him, but, it's so sad, the division.
You know what I love for him to see, Steve? I'm going to tell you what I'd love for him to call up the president now and say, me and you need to sit down regardless of all the crap that's gone on between the both of us. We need to sit down and come out with a public service announcement and end this shit right now.
And he's right.
What's going to happen?
One nice word on radio.
Yeah. What's going to happen with the stimulus package?
That's right.
Phyllis? What's going to happen with the stimulus package?
We did not discuss what I wanted to talk about tonight, so we're going to have to wait till next month.
I know. So the stimulus package,
I can't hear you.
You both sound like you're in the bottom of a well.
I do. Terrible. I'm going to have to get a different phone. Hopefully, God willing, next month we could all be in the studio.
Hi, this is Steve O with the Ask the Experts radio show. At the Simon Group, their goal is to actively help families, individuals, and business owners build their financial freedom. They have the skills, knowledge, and experience required to help meet the client's established goals. They understand their clients want a comfortable retirement, but that means different things to different people. And there are other goals that they can emerge along the way, from planning for a child's education to planning for a managing income in retirement. That's why the Simon Group offers a range of financial strategies and solutions to help in every step of the way. They work with you to gain confidence and stay flexible and prepared for your financial future. The Simon Group serves their clients in estate and investment solutions, insurance protection, income, stocks and bonds, retirement investments, and insurance. Contact the Simon Group for a free financial planning appointment today at 954-599-1950. That's 954-599-1950.
Are we back?
And home improvement. Call our office at Thanks for listening to the Ask the Expert Show, featuring interviews with local experts in the fields of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. Call our office at 888-574-6999 to become one of our experts on the show. And tune in again next week for more Ask the Experts with Steve-O. The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its hosts, guests, and